Do you have questions about beliefs, values, and principles? Are those a little bit confusing maybe? Do you want to understand what the differences are? Then stick around, I'll explain the differences in this video. Hi guys, my name is Jacques Snyman, and I make videos to help you create a more secure future for you and your family. I'm on the journey with you, I'm a yard or two ahead of you, and I'm sharing my journey and what I find works in this process. Yesterday's theme, and I was supposed to make this video yesterday, by the way, so I'm late. Yesterday's theme was to further explore the issue of beliefs and how that impacts our decisions and therefore our actions and the results we get, and then eventually our destiny. I then started questioning myself in terms of, so if beliefs are the things that impact my decision making, what are values and what are principles? And I got completely confused, guys. I'm being honest with you. I went down a rabbit hole for about 8 hours yesterday trying to figure out what the differences then are. And platonically, I guess you can very quickly and easily say what the differences are, but I really wanted to understand the fundamental differences and how these three things then impact our lives and us creating our future. The definitions I came to after a long journey was that these three things are different but overlapping. Principles, my understanding right now is that those are the things that you consider to be right. Those are almost the non-negotiables. And in that category, I include things like I don't steal, I don't kill another person. That's the real fundamental guidelines, if you want, in terms of your life. So the definition there for me is what is right. Those are principles. Values then has got something to do with your list of priorities, which also impacts obviously your decision-making process. But values are, the definition of values simply for me would be what is then important. So how do you prioritize things in your life? How do you spend time, for example, with your family versus with your work, versus with friends, versus with sport or anything else that you're busy with? I came to a stark realization yesterday that I always thought that my family was my first value and my work or my job or my profession was my second one. I have to admit that when I did the analysis, my work actually supersedes my family, which is something I need to work on and still understand properly for myself. So principles, the non-negotiables, the stuff that is right; values, the things that are important or your priorities; and then beliefs, that is almost the definition that says something like what is true. So what is the meaning? Remember, the certainty about the meaning that you attach to something, what that means for you. And we've spoken quite a bit about that. I went down that rabbit hole and discovered a whole different bunch of sources and resources in terms of trying to define your principles, values, and beliefs. There are some gurus out there that speak about values. Most people speak about beliefs, and I believe that's the most important one to understand because that directly impacts the way we make decisions. And that is also, I think, the easier one of the lot to actually understand, address, and then deflate the negative or the limiting beliefs, and then create the new empowering beliefs that we spoke about. The process that I explained yesterday is a very simple process in terms of how do you identify those limiting beliefs and how do you then change them and what do you do on a daily basis. What I've also realized is that it is really important to understand, guys, and you've got to commit to this if you want to make this work, right? This is not an overnight process. I'm currently busy figuring out those beliefs of mine, and I can promise you I've gone through the first and the second rounds. Both of them have given me additional insights, but it's like peeling the layers of an onion. This is going to be a process to understand all my beliefs in terms of all of life over a period of time, right? I'm currently identifying the most important ones. So the ones about money, the ones about work, the ones about relationships and family for me right now. Health will come, finances will come, but that's what I'm busy with. So I don't believe you're going to do this in one sitting. This is going to be an iterative process. You're going to do it over a period of time, but at least just start somewhere, right? So the simple process that I started following about 2 days ago, just to recap again on what are my beliefs, values, and principles, is I just got a standard list of, so what are common beliefs, right, that people have about money and about relationships and about life in general, your own performance or your own achievement and so forth. And I started with that. And that was a list of about 80 beliefs, right? And of the 80, I could only kind of connect or feel for about probably around about 15 or 18 of them. So yeah, you start with a generic list, but then you've got to make that thing personal. You've got to customize it for you. So I'm currently busy taking that list and then spending time introspecting, getting to really think through, how do I make decisions? Therefore, what do I do? And based on that, I'm trying to figure out what the beliefs are. So I'm creating my own little list of personal beliefs, right? And then we'll work with that and see, once I've identified those limiting beliefs, and once I've identified the counter or the empowering belief that goes against that I want to create, what does that process look like? And I'll keep on giving you feedback in terms of how I implement that. So I hope this helps a little bit. I've clarified principles, values, and beliefs. And as from tomorrow onwards, we will start talking again more detail about beliefs, how those impact, how you identify those limiting beliefs, and how you then create the empowering beliefs that you need in your life. Go well.